Welcome back, students. Welcome to the video lecture in Signal and Systems. In the previous video lecture, we have seen what is reconstruction and how the reconstruction can be done to obtain or to reconstruct our continuous time signal, which was converted to its samples using a sampler. In today's video lecture, we will discuss about what is an ideal interpolator, which is used to reconstruct the sampled signal. As you can see here in the diagram, ST, which is a sampled signal, HT represent a interpolator, and X0 T is the output of the interpolator. So what is an interpolator? A simple interpolator is a rectangular pulse. Okay, a simple interpolator is whose response is a rectangular pulse, rectangular T divided by capital T, which you can see is a gate pulse centered at origin with unit height and width equal to sampling time interval, that is capital T. So as you can see, HT here will look like a gate pulse of unit height and centered at origin. So I'm drawing it here as so this will be the gate pulse. Here we have negative time minus T by 2, and here we have positive time plus T by 2. This HT is having unit magnitude. So basically this type of signal is our ideal interpolator, which is a rectangular pulse. Okay, now we wanted to obtain X0 T when ST is passed through our ideal interpolating filter, which is having a response, impulse response as HT. Okay, so every system is defined by its impulse response. So this interpolator is also defined by its impulse response as HT, which is a rectangular pulse. ST, you know, ST is a impulse train, and we can represent this impulse train as sigma n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. X and t multiplied by delta n t minus n you have seen this thing in our previous video that st, which is a pulse train impulse train with magnitude of x and t, the magnitude of the continuous time signal at each pulse, which defines the magnitude of st. When this signal is passed with an interpolator like a rectangular pulse, then what will be the output? So we wanted to calculate output of interpolator. That what will be the output when st passed through ht. Okay, so the output that we will obtain will be for each sample. So each sample produces a gate pulse so every sample in st will produces a gate pulse, and this gate pulse is having a height is equal to x and t. So gate pulse of height x and t. So this will be our output. Okay, this interpolator is a ZOH filter. So in the previous video lecture we have seen the transfer function for zero order Hole filter. And this is a poor form of a ideal low pass filter. Okay, so the interpolator The ideal interpolator is a rectangular pulse with impulse response as a rectangular pulse ht. The impulse response is equal to rectangular T by capital T. This is a gate pulse that is centered at origin, as you can see here in the diagram, with a height equal to 1 and width equal to capital T. So let us see what will be the output looks like. So first, if we are having a continuous time signal, that is like this signal, which is a continuous time signal. So this is our xt. When this signal xt is passed through the sampler, we obtain, so I'm drawing here it as here we have the sampler. This is our xt. After xt is passed through the sampler, we obtain st. So the sampled waveform will look like as a impulse train with height is equal to x of nt. If what will be the value of n, it will give the value of corresponding xt. So for this point we are having a impulse at t, then at 2t we are having an impulse like this, then at 3t or at 4t, let us say this is our 5t, and so on up to nt. We will extend this signal. Okay, so when xt is passed through sampler, we will achieve a signal that is discrete in domain, and this discrete type of signal, which is represented by black lines here, is a impulse train or samples of the original signal xt. Now what the interpolator will do, the interpolator gives a gate pulse for each sample. Okay, so let us say for first sample it will produces a gate pulse which is centered at t. Okay, so here we have our first gate pulse as this pulse represented here. Next, the gate pulse will have the magnitude of the magnitude of the sampled signal at 2t. So next it will give you a gate pulse like this. Then at 3t it will gives you a gate pulse like this. Then we will have a gate pulse like this. After that, for the next sample we will have another gate pulse which is like this. For next sample, this is our gate pulse, so on up to any of the last samples. Okay, so in this way the interpolator will gives you the gate pulses for each of the sample. Okay, so if we see the shaded portion here, this shaded portion here is the output of the interpolator for a sample. Okay, and in this way you have different outputs for different samples. So when the outer periphery of this interpolator is joined, we will achieve x naught t. Okay, so here this xt can be achieved through using or centers of this center of the gate pulses or the magnitude of these gate pulses. In this way the reconstructed signal here is this one. So this is our x naught t signal, which is the output or reconstructed signal. xt is our original signal and these are our sampled signal, or we can say that this is st. So in this way we have seen what is a ideal interpolator and what it will do to reconstruct the original signal xt from its samples. So let us quickly see what we have learned today is that we are learning about reconstruction using ideal interpolator, a interpolator which is having an impulse response that is rectangular T by capital T. So a interpolator represented here by ht is having a impulse response as this value. Okay, so this is a gate pulse centered at origin with unit height and width is equal to capital T. So you can see in the diagram which looks like this. So when xt pass through the sampler, we achieve st, which is a impulse train, but the width but the length or height of the st is equal to our xt for each of the sampling instant. So in this way we have constructed the sampled signal using the black lines shown in the graph. Xt is our original signal. After the signal is interpolated with the interpolator having an impulse response of rectangular t by capital T, the output of the interpolator is a gate pulse for each sample. So in this way, for each sample we have drawn a gate pulse, and this gate pulse gives us a reconstructed signal which is used to obtain our original signal xt. Okay, so in this way today we have learned about reconstruction using ideal interpolator. So this is all for today's video lecture. Thanks for listening. I hope you will enjoy this video, and in the next video lecture we will see more about reconstruction. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you very much.